Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. Kyle.
Yeah?
This is it.
I know. Our last bit of our conversation with Terry Notary.
I mean, it's technically, as we've been having this conversation, which thank you all for tuning in, the credits have been going, and you know this comes
That's
to
right,
the end
exactly.
of the credits.
Here we, as we're here at minute 113 of Incredible Hulk, directed by Louis Leterrier. We're barely talking about Hulk at all in this particular conversation.
We hope everyone has enjoyed this. There's more. I mean, I'll tell you what. There's going to be some more things we're still going to do because we also have an announcement to make at some point.
We do. That's right.
There's more. There's more.
Okay, not as big as Terry Notary coming by the podcast, but it's important to us, and we hope it's important to you as well. And we'll get to that in the future.
Exactly.
In the meantime, our conversation with Terry continues as we get into some basically miscellanea. So, like, I had done my biographical information of like you started here, then you went to here, then you went to here, sort of in chronological order, and now we're sort of into overtime. So I wanted to get to I have all these other little things that I had found. Like, what about this? What about this? What about this? Because when you look at his resume, it's shocking the amount of things he's done. So some of my favorite movies I didn't even know he was involved in at all, and so I would say can you tell me about this? And then also the strangest piece I found on his was the fact that he was in a music video, and I had to be from a very popular artist from the 90s, and I was like, what is that about? So that is where we're going to start our conversation today, and then we'll go on to the end, and then we'll sort of do our final wrap up here. So as we, so here we go. This is the last piece of our magnificent interview with the incredible Mr. Terry Notary.
Well, I was supposed to start Black Adam the day everything got shut down, and then so that's on hold. But I'm going to do this film called Wolf in Ireland. So I'm going to go the first week of August and do that. I'm going to work with George McKay, who I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He was in 1917, the kid, the lead in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful script by Natalie Bianchari. She's this Italian director. And she wrote this script. It's a really beautifully written script, and it's about these kids that think they're animals. So I'm working with all these really kind of really cool kid actors that are just they cast it really well, and they're all playing these animals. So it's kind of interesting, and George's playing this kid who sort of embodies the essence of this wolf, and that's when he's truly happy and truly sort of in his element, and everyone just tries to tear it from him and rip it out of him, and the more they do, the more he becomes this wolf. So yeah, it's a beautiful script. It's really, so it'll be fun. We're gonna do that.
So
I'm gonna play a Lion Man.
Oh yeah,
so
I was gonna say, are you just movement coaching, or are you
week.
actually portraying somebody?
Yeah, I'm envious of your guys' beards because I need one. So I'm gonna start growing a beard.
I think quarantine's the perfect time for it.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. So I'm gonna work on the movement coaching and all that, and help them create their character. And yeah, it's been.
Well,
great.
you just portrayed a dog, so moving up to wolf is the natural evolution of that.
Yeah.
IMDb has you credited on a Janet Jackson video. What video was that, and what how did that come about?
Yes, I did that with Herb Ritz. It was Love Will Never Do It.
I thought so. I read that. I went back and watched all the videos, and there is a acrobat in that video, and I'm like, I bet you that's Terry.
Flipping in the air. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Herb, my good buddy was organizing all the models and stuff and the dancers. And he said, Herb's looking for a trampolinist that can do all these flips and stuff on the, in slow motion and black and white. It's gonna be a beautiful video. He's like, "When you come out?" And so yeah, it was great. So we went out to the desert and did a bunch of flips and stuff, and just kept bouncing and flipping and stuff, and it was cool. It was really fun. But there's this big weather ball. I don't know if I don't know if it made the video. I forget.
I think there's a big ball that bounces around.
Weather ball right? And my friend's like, okay, I'm going to throw this to you, and they're going to video it. Catch it on the other side. And I'm like, got it. Run down there. Here it comes. Boom. Boom. And I'm like, that thing looks heavy. It just flattened me and kept going. I almost laughed. Turned out it was a joke.
Yeah, that did not make the final cut.
Yeah. But that was fun because then Herb hired me to go do a Levi's campaign in Morocco after that, which was awesome.
Oh.
We went to Morocco for a month, but anyways, that's boring for you. Yeah.
That's awesome. You worked on
guy for him.
The flipping guy.
Yeah.
You worked on one of my absolute favorite movies, Attack the Block, with Joe Cornish. You actually did it with John Boyega and Jodie Whittaker. So what is it like sort of having to do what you do on a much smaller budget? Like you had all these sort of big budget things, but that was a much smaller budget one. Does it change what you do at all, or is it just the differences in the craft service table?
There's a lot of difference in the craft service table and your paycheck. But I really liked Joe. Joe wrote Tintin. And Steven said, Joe, Terry, get together. Go come up with some great stuff. Joe, write it. So Joe and I were like, okay, what are we going to do? Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. This could happen. This could happen. This could happen. What if a flower pot hits him in the head and he turns around? Blah, blah. Okay, this is okay. That's more funny. So we were just, for 3 weeks, we were wrestling around and just trying to come up with all kinds of stuff and just jamming, right, on ideas. And he would go back and write our ideas down and script pages, and Steven was digging it. He was liking it. So we had a great relationship. Then Joe said, hey, I'm doing this little movie called Attack the Block, and there's an alien in it, and would you think you could play it for me? And I said, hell yeah, dude, I'll do it. No way, no worries. You're covered. So that's how that happened. And I just liked Joe, and I liked him, and we jammed, and he started showing me concept designs and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And basically got in the suit, modified the suit like 10 times, got it. So it was heavy. It was the most uncomfortable job I've ever done.
Wow.
But it was still whatever. It was fine. It was fine. It was very uncomfortable, very hot, very heavy. But I kind of like that. I kind of like, getting in there and just kind of suffering a little bit because it just makes you feel alive. And it was fun. It was really fun. I mean, it was the one thing was there was this animatronic head that was on the top, right? And it's just he's super loud, sort of buzzing and stuff. And I was looking through the neck of the creature, and it's all made out of yak hair. And so I was just, it was constant like yak hair stuck to my face. It's like I was always constantly like trying to get the hair out because I had my arms, I couldn't do anything, right? And it's like I did not pee one time in that suit in about 6 weeks of shooting. I did not pee while or have to pee while wearing that suit once.
Yeah.
And I was drinking so much. I was consuming so many liquids. It got to the point where the suit, the first week, everybody's like, hey, Terry, yeah, come on over, have some lunch with us, So I'd go sit in the suit, have lunch with them. By the third week, I was sitting about 30 feet away, and no one would. I couldn't go near anyone because of the acidic smell of the suit. They couldn't wash it, so they spray vodka on it every night, hoping that it would kill the germs or whatever it was. But it was so far gone. It was like a men's locker room. It was gross. And every morning,
gotta climb back in,
push into that suit, and take about 3 people to like get the wet, gross skin onto my body again, and then it would warm up, and I'd be like, okay, that's better.
Oh my god! Oh, that's great.
There was an earpiece. I couldn't see where I was going, right? And so we used these little lights, these little tiny LED lights. So I was like, oh God, where am I going? Where am I going? You know? And so I'm charging as fast as I can at the kids. There's a moment where I dive into the elevator and like kill the kids, kill the gang. And I'm charging down as fast as I can. And I hear, stop. And I just go, and as soon as the stop comes into my ear, I just cranked my head into the side of the elevator. It was like instantly just, neck breaker.
Lights out.
So yeah, it was an interesting one. It was.
You've taken your lumps. So anyway, so last question then. Getting back to the MCU proper, you got a chance to be. You're not only in the number 1 highest grossing film of all time, you're also the number 2 highest grossing film of all time. But for Avengers, you got to play Cull Obsidian. So how did you approach that character, and was it like working with the Russo brothers on the biggest film of all time?
Oh, it was great. It was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, Joe and Anthony are amazing. They're just such a cool, family-oriented, no yelling. You know, when they had me, you know, he invited me over to his house and said, "Come on, I want to come over to my house. Kids are swimming in the yard, in the pool." I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" Sitting there, and then he's like, "So, I want you to teach the Black Order. I want you to, you know, choreograph their stuff and come up with the stuff and work with Thanos and the Hulk and play, you know, Cull Obsidian and Groot." I'm like, and we have a no asshole policy. I mean, I'm like, okay, am I good? Can I go? You know, I'm gonna go start working on it. You know, it's awesome. They're just no BS. Get her done, make it happen, do it right.
And the dogs are ready.
And so, to approach Cull Obsidian, I wanted him I wanted him to have a little bit of intelligence. So he didn't have a voice in the beginning. He didn't have any like dialogue or anything. And I said, well, God, if you give him just something, you know, that you see he's like registering thoughts and ideas and communicating, then he's not going to just be this lump standing there, you know. And they were like, yeah, okay, great. Well, what's he sound like? And I just started coming up with these like, you know, like that kind of stuff. And like, perfect. They're like, okay, great. So let's just have you just come up with that voice, that dialogue. So I was just making it up as we went along. And so I was making up his voice. And that.
What was your intention of what he was saying?
Oh, it was like, you know, it was this sort of cocky kind of, yeah, we're gonna just, you know, I can't even say it. There's a lot of swear words in it.
You know, I gotta say, and again, thank you so much for your time, because this has meant so much.
It's mostly swear words.
No,
yeah,
totally. You know, I just want to say, like, you know, what I really want to see is, I know in an interview you did a little while ago, you talked about, you know, the human roles you'd like to play, and one of them you mentioned was a politician. I hope you get the chance to do that at some point, because I think it would just be an amazing performance, especially knowing your trade and and your art. I think I would love to see whatever that portrayal is.
Awesome. I would love it too. I'd love to just have him just be this split person and just show all the weaknesses.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be really cool. Just show all this front facade of all the weakness.
Right.
You know, this is like doorway into what it means to be a corrupt human being.
Indeed. Well, thank you so much. We are so appreciative again for
Awesome.
this. Thank you.
You've been very kind and generous
Thanks,
with
you
your time,
guys.
and we appreciate it.
Have a great rest of your day.
All right, we're back in the studio, just Rob and I. And hey, Rob, I think we're at the end of the credits.
I think this was it.
I think Terry, we finished our interview with Terry Notary. There's no more of that. He was very gracious with his time and went into overtime for us.
Absolutely amazing. Thanks again to him.
Yeah, exactly. And so we played it over last ones. And so this is the end of our time with the Incredible Hulk.
And now the end is near.
It was really wonderful. I mean, I gotta say, as much as we've talked about this before,
sure,
the movie's totally enjoyable. When you go into it with the attitude that, hey, we're gonna celebrate it, we're gonna celebrate the MCU, we're gonna celebrate its role and all of that, and we're gonna celebrate the work and the characters. I have loved this. I hope everyone has had the same amount of fun
we
we
wanted
had.
to be fair.
Yes.
Like there are things that we really like in this movie, and there are things that we really don't, and so we wanted to be honest with it. But that being said, we've both seen some terrible, terrible movies, and this is not even close to them.
Oh, this is not terrible. No.
So, yeah,
No.
I mean, it's the black sheep of the MCU, but only when compared to the MCU. I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, exactly. Well, we hope that you've been with us this entire time and you've enjoyed our deep digressions, our strange wrestling obsessions, our
Pop culture,
70s and 80s
TV.
TV references. My penchant for subtly inserting song lyrics into our conversations.
Oh, we've done that quite a bit. That's happened. Well, we also want to thank Andy and Pete and everyone from the Next Reel. Just been an absolute pleasure. We've just totally enjoyed doing this. Now you could end it right here, right? This could be
that
it.
Could be enough.
I think there's gonna be some bonus episodes.
Oh yeah.
I think, we have stuff to do. We have some.
I am out of trivia, Rob.
Oh,
I have nothing left.
We have viewer comments to talk about because we've had some great questions and observations from all of our faithful viewers. We've got those to go through. And like I've said, I teased at the beginning, we might have announcements because the Marvel Movie Minute season 2 is over.
That's
the Incredible Hulk is over.
That's right.
But the Marvel Movie Minute will continue.
That's right. Say when we have to, as Andy and Pete handed it off to us, then it's our job to hand it off to whoever the next hosts will be.
What?
So
what are you talking about?
Well, I mean that's how it goes.
What do you mean
So-
that's how it goes?
They hired us for Incredible Hulk. So in the next episode, we'll have to hand it off to whoever gets to do Iron Man 2 because that's the next in the order. So that's how it works. It's like the Doctor Who. Like we're regenerating.
I gotta make a call. I'll be back. Stay
tuned. Thank you for listening for the last 113 episodes plus bonus stuff. I mean, come on. You guys are amazing. Obviously, I could talk to Rob about anything, but the fact that you guys have been so cool about so fun, especially all the guys at Next Reel, guys, I should say now, because we're actually are doing our best to be more inclusive, guys and gals, etc. for Next Reel. They've been super cool with all of us. Inviting us to other shows and everything too, so they wouldn't just put us in our little Marvel corner and do that. It's been an amazing ride. Thank you all for listening. Seriously, I know I say it in every episode, but I honestly mean it. This has meant the world to us. We have had so much fun doing this. It has been a great ride. So thank you to Louis Leterrier. Thank you to Edward Norton and to Zach Penn for putting together an amazing story. Thank you to all the actors that we've had fun with, all the extras that I didn't find their names for, all of Delta 4, everyone in Rhythm and Hues, which I was misnaming the whole way through. You guys were amazing. Your effects were fantastic. And especially thanks to Major Spar for all you gave to this movie, to this MCU. It would not be the same without you. 5 stars for Spar. Thanks everybody. It's been great. So it's been 113 episodes. We've been happy to be with you all the time. Rob, you are an incredible partner in this. I could not have done this alone.
You as well.
You set up all the technology. I just show up with my trivia. Rob handles all the heavy lifting and all the editing, so he has to listen to what you're listening to now. And every time that I screw something up and have to pull it out and have to listen to it again and again and again. So if you're tired of hearing my voice, think what he's gone through over the last 113 episodes.
No joke.
So big
what
shout
awesome.
out to my partner in crime,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Rob Cabasco. And that'll do it for Incredible Hulk. Until next time, true believers.
Goodbye.